Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today, my nugget is we want you better. Now, if you're a parent, I'm going to ask you to forward this reading, this nugget, to some young person in your purview that thinks that we as parents are just hard, we're just trying to cramp their style, or we do not understand what they are going through or what they're facing. Sometimes in life, it is as if we come across to our young people as though we are living totally off the grid. Yes, we do understand that time changes and things changes, and the difficulty of living in one generation is somewhat parallel to living in another generation. And I say somewhat parallel because every generation has its own challenges, has its own hardship, and has its own difficulty. And what is considered as new technology in one generation was considered to be the new technology of another generation. Okay? So we want you to understand that we're not trying to cramp your style. We want you to be better than us. So let me just read this nugget that I wrote the other day. And it says, any of us as parents can sit and talk of broken. We can tell you how broken we are by how broken we grew up. But to what avail? A message, good or bad, rejected, is not a message received, and one to which no one will take heed. In a world of entertainment and how good I feel, one where parental rights to discipline and issue instruction is either taken away, diminished, or replaced with rules and best practices across the world, our responsibility to enforce or stress that we want you better is limited as to what we can do. Within the scope of what we can do, we are not the wicked dragons, requiring you to make blood out of stone. Our expectations are not too high or unrealistic. We know what we have invested in you or sacrificed for you. So we know to some degree what is in you. In many ways, it was in us. Chip never fly too far from the block or the apple from the tree. The difference is we never had the support system or resources you have. We also have already lived with the wicked dragons or during the wicked times. Trust me, we will not subject you to that. We will not subject you to what we have been through. In the book, we want you to fly what your parents are really trying to say. I have said it, but in this nugget, let me stress it. We want you better. Better than who? We want you better than us. We want you to make good on you, not us. Many of you young people do not know this and take for granted what we are trying to do or say to you. I have heard it said by a young man to his father, I can live the way I want. Who says I'm not going to be better than you? I was not responsible for your life the way it was. I never contributed to your hardship growing up. I will live my life. I will be better than you. It is true. You were not there, but you are here now, and now becomes the focus of our attention. However, as I think of this response, I think to myself this nugget. We want you better. Better than who? Better than us. We're not asking you to be us. We're asking you to be better than us. We're asking you to live above us. We are not trying to cramp your style. No, we are not trying to live or find our identity through you. The world already have one struggling and frustrated by the system that is around us. We are that one. We do not want you to live for us or live our life. We want you better. Rebellion and rejection is not our requirement. You were not there when we were abused, abandoned, rejected, had to steal to live, went to jail, or lived from foster home to foster home. You were not even there when we were being molested and when we could not tell anybody that we were being molested, or whenever there was even someone to tell. They did not believe us. They beat us, chose lovers over us, and told us that we were lying, so we didn't speak. We suffered in silence. You were not there when we were hungry, naked, working in squalor, and living out of the same pieces of clothes. You were not there, but we had to go through all of that. We lived in situations where we were never believed, we were never accepted, we struggled. Yet we did it with the knowledge that we would be better. So, yes, you were not there when we were struggling. You never contributed to the hardship, and certainly it is our responsibility to take care of you now and to give you the best of life possible. But we cannot afford for you to waste it. We cannot afford for you to take for granted or for you to sidetrack what we have done. We want you better. We want you better than us. That's simple as parents what we want. We do not want to feel as though you do not understand the pressures and the sacrifice or the suffering that we have to make. We want you better. Many of us became your parents in our struggle. Let me be honest, we wish we could give you more than we have now, but many times we did not plan you in our lives. You came early. You are a byproduct of our struggle. We wish we could go back and change the past or take back some of the things we did. Yes, sometimes you came out of our disobedience, us wanting to be left alone, do what we wanted, have fun, groping in the dark of our ignorance. We did not listen. And that's the honest truth. Some of us did not listen, and you came out of it. We were stubborn, yet when we had you, something in us changed. We decided to turn around our lives. We saw our mistakes, shortcomings, limitations, and we purposed in our hearts to give you better. And that is why, young people, we want you better. So when we see you doing everything we did, and worse, tell us that you will not fail, how should we receive it? If you are not faced with any of the struggles we faced, but producing less than we have or did at your age, how should we see it? Let me say this. All that you have now is ours. So how will you use it to show us that you will be better? This is one of the things that I want to stress. You are living under our roof. You're living with all the luxury that we have provided. You have not had to make some of the sacrifices, but yet still you are telling us that you will be better than us. Let's say if we take away all that we are now presently giving you, how will you survive? In a world of entertainment, games, style changings, and connectivity, we want to see that you have values, that you outpace ours. We want to see that you have set goals and have a plan in place and are working at those plans. Talk is cheap. So all we're asking is that you use what we have or gave to you to build a better yours, not ours. A better than us. Your life must be better than ours. We struggled, or perhaps is struggling. Show us that you understand, that you have a plan and a focus. Talk is cheap, and big fancy dream without work is even worse. Believe me, we want to see you working. We want to see your effort to be better than us, for we feel that it will not be better than us or ours at the rate you are going. Understand that we have lived our days, and now we are living in your days. We, to some degree, sees both sides of the story. We understand that even though our days was hard, and that every time period carries its own definition of hard, what we are able to accomplish in our time, it will be harder for you to do the same in your time period. In truth, it will require more, a whole lot more. Unlike us who did it with support, without support, you will not be able to do it without support. Your emotional, psychological, spiritual, and financial health will not allow it. We suffered from depression and did not know it because we were too busy trying to live. Your knowledge of depression, even when you have nothing to be depressed about, makes you depressed. You have far more at your disposal than we had, but use it to what avail? Complaining over things that gives face value but not weight value. We hope that the things that we will value will be greater than the entertainment of your time. It is nice to be entertained, have a laugh, to be distracted and dulling the pain. But in the end, have you grown? Have you learned? Will you earn? Or have you wasted time just looking in the web until your ashes lies cold in the urn or some grave? We do not want to destroy your life, cramp your style, cause you to live in our time, or make you like us. We want you to enjoy your days and be your best self, but we do not want you to waste the value of the present. What is lost is lost. Do not be a fool thinking that you can just get up and make it. No, we became what we practice. So while we are not trying to make you like us, we are only using us as a measuring stick to say, take your benchmark from us and say to yourself, whether in relativity terms or in real terms, I will be like this. Understand that we did not have the opportunities and choices you have, and perhaps we still are not making use of the opportunities we have now. But to tell yourself, as good or bad as this is not for me. I am better than this. Since honesty is the best policy, let me be honest here. Some of us were not the most obedient young people you could find. Some of us were hard of hearing, stubborn, intractable, and stiff-necked. We did not listen, and so we suffered hardship. We did not have to. Show us that you are better than us by listening and paying attention to what we say. Yes, we want you to have experiences, and yes, we want you to be as good as you can be in all things. But understand this, it will not happen if you don't focus. Let me just cut to the chase and say this. The immaturity you show us that why you do have to is hard to suffer. We have already done the suffering. Why can you just not take our advice and believe us that there are sharks in the water? Ride in the boat. Well, then again, if your thrill-seeking side says that you must be in the water, this is what I'm saying to you. Prove that the sharks are not hungry before you jump in. Or if they are hungry, go down in a steel cage. Because at the same time, what we want is you better than us. We do not want the sharks of life to eat you while or long before you even can get the chance to enjoy swimming. Even if we had good parents, we still want you to be better than us. Yeah, even if our parents were the best in the world, we still want you better than us. Because guess what? Each generation improve upon the next generation. They are building blocks. And this is what I'm saying to you in this nugget as a young person. We want you better than us. Because at the rate that life is going, society is going, if you are not better than us, society gets worse. And the generation that comes after you will only have it worse. So do your best to be better than us, because that's all we are asking. So hear me and hear me well. By all means necessary, create a way out. Do better, because you can be better. It's not a if or but, you can do better. This is JAW saying to you, bye.